Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm the author of the 10UN Academy series, and this is English Nerd. So, it's the end of the summertime as far as I'm concerned, because school is just about to start up. And so I thought for one last hurrah, I would talk about one of my all-time favorite summertime movies. I mean, yes, there's Indiana Jones, there's Jurassic Park, there's some of these other classics that are so good. But let us not forget Muppet Treasure Island. I submit to you that this movie is a masterpiece, and I'm going to tell you why. So, yes, I've been a fan of this movie ever since I was a kid, obviously. It came out in, 96? And I just think it's a kick. And since it is the summer, I started thinking, why is it that I still love this movie when it's admittedly so silly and campy in places? So, I thought about it, and I realized some things since now that I'm all grown up and I know about stories, I know what they did right. So let's just take a little walk and talk about Muppet Treasure Island.
Shiver my timbers, shiver my soul, yo-ho-dee-ho. There are men whose hearts are as black as coal, yo-ho-dee-ho.
And they sail their ship across the ocean blue, a bloodthirsty captain and a cutthroat crew.
It's as dark a tale as was ever told of the lust for treasure and the love of gold.
So first of all, right at the beginning, they established the tone, the type of story that this is going to be. So here you have pirates, you have some campiness, but you have a pretty serious theme. It's the friendship versus treasure kind of theme that you start to see really early on. Here it's only just alluded to, but you have the pirate who shoots the other pirates so they can't tell where the treasure is, and those were their shipmates. And so it does a really nice job of just starting off with the opening sequence, making it crystal clear what exactly you're in for. And huge props go out to Hans Zimmer for this, who is just a wizard at soundtracks, and I'm just so glad that they got him for this movie. So after that, of course, we meet the main character, the protagonist, Jim Hawkins, and we figure out his problem.
I look around here and I want to cry.
Me too.
I feel like the world is passing me by,
It is.
and I just can't help but wonder, am I doomed to wash and dry? And is it a curse I'm under to do it till I die?
Oh, I hope not. Yeah.
When I could be an explorer,
Sure you could.
sailing off to distant lands,
not so fast.
instead of spending every afternoon just getting dishpan hands.
So yeah, he's stuck in a life he hates, it's repetitive, it's no good, and he thinks that the way to get out of this is to live a life of adventure in his father's footsteps. The idea of him and his father is kind of a big deal in the story, and so I'll return to that later on. In addition to meeting Jim, we also meet his best friends, Gonzo and Rizzo, and I want to here point out that there are a ton of characters in this story. If you think about all the people who later show up on the Hispaniola ship, and you have all the pirates and the characters on the island, and I mean, the number of the cast in this is pretty gigantic, but everybody is memorable because they're given these often unexpected defining traits that are really pronounced. So if you have a very short time to introduce a character, it's a good idea to do this, to have this be the person who is all about the weirdness, this be the person who's characterized by, their fear of anything out of the ordinary, this be the person who's characterized by their complete insanity, etc. And this movie just does it super well. Not only are their personalities wildly different, but of course, like all Muppets, they all look different as well. And so I've talked about the silhouette test on this channel before, a term which I got from Writing Excuses, the podcast, and this story in every way passes the silhouette test. So I'm not going to go through the whole rest of the plot. I mean, we generally know the plot of Treasure Island, I think. If you don't, then you can go watch it yourself. There will be some spoilers later on for Muppet Treasure Island in this video, but I'm just going to talk about them anyway, and you can skip over those parts because, you know, I hate spoilers. But one other thing that this movie does super well is that a scene is not just there for one purpose. Almost every scene works on multiple levels. And so it works, you know, it actually kind of invites rewatching and thinking about things from a different angle. And you think about some of the famous musical numbers in this movie, like Sailing for Adventure. Toward the beginning when everybody's on the ship and off they go, and it's the kind of rousing anthem as they're leaving and you're all excited about the adventure. So the song does more than just be an exciting song about going off and finding adventure. It actually has all these little character moments that reinforce who all the characters are. Here are the villains who are trying to stay incognito. Here is our main character who's excited about adventure, and then you start seeing him bonding with Long John Silver, who's the antagonist, although of course, Jim doesn't know how bad a guy Long John Silver is. And so you see the two of them kind of bonding over the shared love of adventure and the friendships that they find along the way. So at that point, Long John is burying his deep-seated love of treasure, which, as we'll see, trumps everything else. But it's, you know, it's things like that that make scenes a lot more engaging because it's not just like, well, you've seen it and it's done. There's a lot more going on. Later on in the movie, when Long John Silver kidnaps Jim and forces him to give him the Jim's compass so that he can use it to find the treasure based on the map, that one is generally very exciting, but it also is symbolically significant because you have the compass, which is the only thing Jim owns that belonged to his father, who Jim looked up to and wants to be like. And now, after all this bonding with Long John Silver, he finds out that Long John is actually bad, but he's still forced to give over this symbol of kind of his father. And Long John, in a way, throughout the story, takes over that role of being the mentor and all of that. My favorite scene that works on two levels, though, is one that the movie makes really, really obvious, and that is Love Let Us Hear. It's the song that Kermit and Piggy sing as they're hanging upside down over this cliff and they're about to die. And they sing this duet about how love led them here, so they found each other, and at least they have each other. But it cuts to Long John finding the treasure and all the pirates reveling in the treasure at the same time. And so love led us here, and then love led them there.
Looking back, I never know how I ever let you go. But destiny could see we deserved to have another day. Love let us here, right back to where we belong. We followed a star and here we are. Now heaven seems so near. Love let us here.
What matters most to them? Is it caring for others, or is it treasure? It reinforces that theme. You could probably read the story as, you know, some other themes as well, but this is the one that stands out most to me, largely because of the end, which gives me chills every time. Yes, I'm a grown woman, but I get chills every time with Love Let Us Hear and the ending scene when, well, here, let me just show it to you.
Silver!
I suppose you'll be blowing the whistle on me now, won't you, Jim?
Suppose I will. You have to return to Bristol to stand trial.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I got a terrible fear of hanging. We're shipmates, aren't we, Jim? gentlemen of fortune together. Give us one more chance. Oh, hell, Jim. I can never harm you. You're honest and brave and true. You didn't learn that from me.
I learned it from my friends, Mr. Silver. Now take your oars and row away. I never want to see you again, ever.
Oh, Jim! It's a shame, really. We'd have made a great team, Jim.
So we see really clearly here that friendship versus treasure theme coming to a head. What really matters when the rubber hits the road and you can only have one or the other. Of course, Long John makes his choice and Jim makes his choice, caring for somebody over treasure, and then Long John is still going to go with the treasure. But something else that I really love about this scene is just a trope that I enjoy, which is a protagonist and an antagonist having some kind of close relationship. So here it's almost like that father and son thing. They care about each other even though their goals are completely at odds and their morals are at odds, and it's just really well acted, I think, for the type of movie that it is, and so yeah, it's a great revelation of character and bringing all the themes together. So, if all of that didn't convince you to watch this movie, then dang it, it's the summertime, it's the end of the summertime, might as well just embrace the ridiculous campiness and delightful madcap action of Muppet Treasure Island, and go and just go and watch it. Just go and watch it. Why is a channel called English Nerd talking about Muppet Treasure Island? Because I can, because it's my channel, and because they do storytelling really well. So that is it for today's video. Like it if you like it, and let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, get those notifications for more English nerdy goodness, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.